Jeg tror, vi er live. Louis? Lad os lige se. Død.
In my montages, but just not necessarily in the exact manner you see in the clip. I try to be very intentional about the clips I include in my montages so that I can pace them with the music and include enough variety to give them replay value. I think if I had been honest about this from the beginning, that it wouldn't have been too big of a deal. But at this point, it's been something I've kept secret for years, and even after the cheating investigations on me. I'm actually under the impression that even if my montages weren't staged, that the evidence being used against me still wouldn't serve as proper proof of hacks, which is why I never brought it up. But in retrospect, I understand that it gets to a point where even if it's not completely definitive, people can't be blamed for thinking that it's more likely that I'm hacking than not. In my 2-year vanilla PvP montage, I used a custom mod to play in a lower tick rate, since at the time, Minecraft didn't have a command for it. This is actually the reason for how I came up with the idea for a mod to reduce input latency, since I had recognized how slow inputs are registered on low TPS. Within that mod, I used to create that montage. The idea was used to make my inputs register instantly instead of per tick, which made playing low TPS feel much more responsive. A lot of people have pointed out that the hotbar skips in that montage, and knowing what I do now, I'm quite sure that it's due to the fact that I was not only using the low TPS mod for most of it, but also the feature within that mod to make my inputs register instantly. Something I should be clear about, though, is that when defending myself regarding the hotbar allegations, previously I actually believed that it was a performance mod, and not related to me playing in low TPS. I think that a lot of people will think that sounds stupid, so let me explain. I'm going to play a clip to show you what I mean.
But like,
and I will say the anchor description in my video, I think there actually is the debunk for that, so I don't think it's even true anymore.
From the clip you just heard,
and I will say the anchor description in my video, I think there actually is the debunk for that, so I don't think it's even true anymore.
From the clip you just heard, you can hear Reef1 admit that I might be debunking the hotbar skipping allegations. This is because it's actually true that hotbar skipping is not definitive proof of cheating. Reef1 and Dr. Donut originally believed that it was the result of hacks, and I believe that it was the result of a performance mod. But the truth is, neither of us were entirely right, and hotbar skips can occur on a completely vanilla client, even without performance mods, although performance mods can increase the rate at which they happen. The reason why I'm bringing this up is just to reiterate that when I was defending myself on this topic, my explanation was actually somewhat reasonable, and now we know it can happen on vanilla. It wasn't proof of hacking. The amount of times that it happened in my montage, though, left a valid reason to believe that it was hacks. And since people weren't aware of the fact that I was staging the montage in low TPS, I can't blame anyone for thinking so. Assuming that you're watching this video, Dr. Donut, I want to directly address you regarding this situation, as well as some of the other scenarios that have come up between us, so that I can communicate my thoughts a bit better. I'm going to play a few stream clips for context.
Now, everything that Marlow did, like, it was obviously, the Marlow persona was very nice to people and was very helpful, and she helped the community a lot, actually. But was all of that because he wanted to help the community, or was it because he just wanted power? I don't know if we're ever gonna know. But yeah, bro, I can't believe that all of it's true. It's just crazy. Like, Marlow definitely, or Danger Mario definitely had a goal to like get me out of the community. Like Danger Mario recommended me to stop streaming through Marlow, obviously. I'll just say Marlow. Marlow recommended me to stop streaming. Like Marlow also intentionally had a goal to get It's Real Me to quit PvP, and that's why he was gone for like over a year. Can you believe that? It's Real Me is the greatest PvPer of all time, and Marlow like convinced him to just quit or manipulated him into quitting, I guess, which is crazy. By the way, Default being blacklisted and restricted, that was also a part of Marlow's plan. Default could have been the best Crystal PvPer, but he was banned from the community for over a year because Marlow like was in charge of everything and just kicked him out.
I feel like when you view someone through a negative lens, it becomes very easy to come up with negative explanations for why certain things were said or done. But a lot of the things that you said here just weren't my intention at all. For example, when you mentioned that I advised you to stop streaming, this was in reference to your vanilla Tier 2 attempts, because you've been trying for years to get Tier 2, and I sincerely wanted you to achieve that goal, which is why I helped you and gave you advice a lot of the time. The reason why I recommended you not to stream your Tier 2 test is because I believe a big part of streaming is entertaining your audience, and I knew that your interest in doing that would detract from your competitive performance. And I think you could genuinely do it if you approached it with the right mindset and focus, which is why it's much harder to learn and take in information if a large part of your mind is occupied by streaming. The reason why I recommended you not to stream your... Another thing I wanted to address is the claim that I tried to get It's Real Me to quit PvP. This claim is seemingly out of nowhere because I've never wanted It's Real Me to quit. I've never even wanted to get number 1. My goal to get Tier 1 was in everything, every game mode, and I'd actually prefer if I wasn't number 1 overall because I hate the negativity that comes from it. If you were to look through my messages speaking about my goals and my messages to people like It's Real Me, you'd understand that it was genuinely never my goal to be number 1, and it still isn't. I was going up against myself with my own goal, and I just happened to get number 1 because no one else had achieved that goal yet. I wish It's Real Me had never quit, and I wish he would have kept going further so that I didn't have to be number 1, but he did quit, and now I'm number 1, so the situation is what it is. Now for the last thing regarding King Default's punishments being issued maliciously, I feel like you're not exactly taking into account what happened. He's had multiple competitive offensive like boosting and account sharing, and he said a lot of threatening things regarding me as well as stuff like leaking information about where I lived. I'm not saying that in the sense that we have a poor relationship anymore, but what I'm trying to say is that if you're looking at things from an objective point of view, those punishments were valid. As you know, I also ended up pardoning his offenses against me to get him unblacklisted almost immediately after, because I didn't want to hurt his career even though he had already hurt mine extensively. I wanted to respond to this here today because I think that out of mostly anyone, the two of us have played an important role in getting the community to where it is today, and I've come to realize more and more that the tension between us is something bad for everyone. I want you to know that I'm sorry we were never able to be on the same page, and I think it is largely stems from the way that in which I'm a bit of an introverted person, and you seem to be the opposite of that, so we never really meshed well together in comparison to how you mesh with other people who make more public appearances. I respect the way in which you have tried to help other people grow their channels and reputations. It's something I've tried to do as well, and I think it's just generally a good thing to do for the community and players in it. I think what started the tension we felt is the way in which some of the things that you used to say on stream about me, or to me in order to entertain your audience, ended up blowing back on me in negative ways that you didn't expect. So I viewed it as inconsiderate, and then when I responded in my video back in 2024, I interpreted everything so negatively because of the way in which the other people in that group were going after me maliciously. The result between us has been an awkward relationship, so I want you to know that even though I'm very much an introvert, I know that you're an honest person. And so whatever you felt when you said the things you did about me was genuine and not malicious. Like I said, I think it becomes easy to look back on everything in a negative light when you're viewing things through a negative lens. But I think we've had a lot of good conversations in our time being friends. And so I'd like you to know that regardless of everything that's happened up until this point, I still respect you, and I hope you understand me better now that I've laid out some of my thoughts to you. I also think next time we could probably work out a lot of these issues in private, since the public tends to skew conversations like these to create a divide into having two different sides, when in reality what we want to do is create less of a divide, not more of one. On the topic of what I mentioned before, There is one more clip that I want to play since it summarizes exactly what I mentioned before regarding retrospectively misinterpreting certain things.
I mean, I haven't seen proof of this, but I've heard that the only reason Marlow even had access to the vanilla tier list Discord in the first place was because she nuked the old one and was just quick to make the new one, and everyone just followed her. But yeah, she hijacked the whole PvP community off of she took it from trustworthy people who didn't have some overarching plan to do anything crazy, and just took full control of everything herself.
So just to clarify here, I'm addressing whoever is watching this now rather than Dr. Donut personally, but what you have heard here is a very large misunderstanding of what actually happened and where the remade vanilla tier list came from. If you watched my experience video, I talk about a group called WAC that used to go around doxing and threatening people. They took down my Wi-Fi while threatening me in a call before, and threatened me with other things like rape and swatting. I will play an extremely small amount of this call, but I won't play too much of it because it will get the video age restricted if I do. If you want to see more of it, you can watch it on my experience video.
Speak when spoken to, you fucking whore. Or you want something bad to happen? Speak when spoken to. Say some fucking dumb shit and see what fucking happens. Do you want to fucking test me, bitch? Because I'll turn your fucking Wi-Fi off right now. Test me again. Test me again, bitch. Sing this fucking song and maybe you won't have internet complications, okay? Sing the fucking song, Marlow. Sing it right fucking now for me. Sing it.
It would be a shame if your father couldn't put food on the table because some internet gangsters are doing some tomfoolery. Does your father happen to work from home?
Well, what did
Can
I
you
say? No, Marlow.
please send over his schedule for us, please?
Wouldn't it be a shame if your father couldn't work from home and like everything just stopped working?
What if it was because of some internet complication?
Wouldn't it be a shame if your dad couldn't work from home because of internet complications, right? That'd be quite the shame.
I swear to God, I will find out where you live and I will choke you out.
So essentially what happened is that the people a part of this group nuked the tier list once in the middle of 2021, which was really bothersome for me because at the time, I was the only owner properly managing the list. I was doing almost all of the tier tests myself and adding all of the names to the spreadsheet myself since at the time the website didn't exist yet. Essentially, WAC used to be on the ownership team of the vanilla tier list, but I was also on the owner team as well as pretty much the only person doing anything. During this time frame, I had to put up with random nukes, them randomly giving out high tiers to their friends, corrupt owners demoting people they didn't like, and them giving out staff roles and tiers to their friends' alt accounts. A lot of people criticize the way the tier list is run today, but the main difference is that back then it was actually corrupt from the inside, and today it's just mismanaged because the staff can't keep up with the overload of manual labor, since the tier list doesn't have enough automation to sustain it. Anyways, later in 2021, the tier list got nuked again, except this time it was a fully successful nuke with nobody except the owner team and a few of the higher staff members remaining. After the nuke, I started getting DMs from WAC members taunting me about it, and so after everything, to sort everything out for a while, a new Discord was made, and the WAC players were demoted from staff. What people seem to be saying is that I was the one who made the new Discord immediately after the nuke as a means to get ownership, but that's actually the complete opposite of what actually happened. I was actually the last choice to be owner, even despite the effort I had been putting in. The person who created the new vanilla tier list Discord was Cond, and the only people who remained as owner after the nuke were me, Cond, and UCC Dog. What happened was, me and UCC Dog never got along because he was very emotionally attached to the game, so when I became better than him, it really upset him a lot, and he tried to do things like randomly demoting me from my tiers, even when I was losing to no one at the time. I got demoted from mid-tier 1, which back then was equivalent to what high tier 1 is now to high tier 2, just completely randomly because UCC Dog didn't think I should be tier 1. So as you can see, me and him used to have a lot of issues, and after the vanilla tier list Discord was remade again, a few months later I tested for high tier 1, which required me to be the best player in both my own region and the European region. People today fail to realize how hard it was to get high tier 1 back then because of that requirement. Nowadays, cross-regional fights are done on an equal ping, but back then to get high tier 1 you actually had to be the best player on both regions no matter the ping. At the time, UCC Dog was the best European player, but I ended up beating him 4-0 on his region, and he ended up rage quitting the community and blocking a lot of people. At that point, it was just me and Kond left on the ownership team. But Kond ended up getting demoted by Enrico for accepting bribes of gear on survival servers in return for giving out staff ranks. Kond was the actual server owner at the time though, so Enrico had very carefully negotiate with him in order to retrieve ownership. After Enrico got ownership, he actually chose to give it to me because I had been paying the Ticket Spot subscription the whole time. The way the Tickets Premium subscription worked is that it would only apply to servers that the linked account had ownership of. And so the way we did it was Kond would sign into my Patreon account and link his user to